Welcome in, everybody. This is Too Much Movie Night. Join your hilarious host, Brian. You're so broke, your baloney's got no first name. JJ.
Sebastian, the whale-washing dolphin.
And Steve.
So wellable wash. Oh my gosh.
Follow along as we dissect, debate, and dish out cinematic hilarity that'll leave you rolling in the aisles. So buckle up, grab your popcorn, and get ready for a movie podcast that's packed with laughs, entertainment, and probably a few bad jokes. This is Too Much Movie Night.
Totally dorked that one up. Oh man,
That's all right.
So did they, though.
Yeah. If you know the movie, you know that you were actually right on fucking track.
You'll excuse the joke there.
It was either that one or Fish are friends, not food.
That's Nemo.
That's a different movie.
We were supposed to wait. Which one? Wait, isn't that what we were watching?
Yeah. The Pixar. No, we did the knockoff version essentially.
Yeah, we basically watched the Great Value Finding Nemo.
This was the ants to their Bug's Life. That's totally what this was. But welcome in, everybody. Yes, this is Too Much Movie Night. We're diving down deep into our mob movies, and of course, Alyssa had to find this gem, Shark Tale. Shark Tale is a 2004 American animated comedy classic. It is The film features an ensemble cast with Will Smith, Robert De Niro, Renee Zellweger, Jack Black, Angelina Jolie, and of course, Martin Scorsese. It tells the story of an underachieving fish named Oscar who falsely claims to kill the son of a mob boss, Don Lino, and attempts to advance his community standing. As complex as that sound is, no, this is a very, very easy movie. This is a kid's movie. This was a minivan movie for me. As we know, Will Smith, the GOAT, one of my favorites. So I was so excited when this hit the wheel until we got about to minute 15. I'm not going to break it in too much. We like to talk about where we were when we first saw this movie. So since Alyssa's not here to introduce the movie, I'll go ahead and start off with it. Well, this is 2004 is when this movie came out. This movie was up against it, too. This also came out the same year as Shrek 2. A classic, and then also The Incredibles. So this movie was up against it, and yet a $75 million budget, an amazing cast, an awesome soundtrack. I was, 13-ish when this came out? So this is probably a movie you're not going to see if you were my age or older, unless you had little brothers. I had two. So this was a minivan movie for me. Quickly loved, quoted all the time. My mom could probably do every single line from this movie, and I doubt she's seen a second of it. JJ, tell us, what was your first interaction with this movie?
This was I believe, a varsity theater movie, because, like we alluded earlier, this was DreamWorks' attempt to battle Finding Nemo. You know, fish was the craze back then, and Finding Nemo did so good in theaters, especially small theaters, hometown theaters like we had, that you know what? Another kids movie about fish? Fuck yeah, it's got to be a hit. So brought that in, and yeah, I think I watched it we had it there for 2 weeks. I think I watched it 3 times in the first 2 weeks that it was out, and then after that, and then I forgot a lot about this movie until this most recent watch.
Excuse me.
I don't know what that was.
Steve's doing his whale communications, but again, Finding Nemo, Dad. Finding Nemo.
My blowhole. There was lots of whales in this one.
Yeah.
So Steve, tell us, what was your first interaction with this one?
Brian, I have no idea. This was, like you say,
Glad you did some prep work for it. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it.
This was like the 2004, right? Three? Yeah, 2003.
No, 4, sorry.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't think we went to the movies to see this.
No, I think we just picked up the DVD.
Yeah, we may have just picked up the DVD, but it was probably a long time before I actually sat down and watched it. But I kind of heard it in the back and everything, you know. But it was, I don't know. I mean, it was this was one of those ones. Is like, okay, cool, I saw it, but. Yeah, that was it for me. You know, I haven't seen this since. the last time you saw, or the last time we were in the minivan watching it, or something like that. So it's been a long time since I've seen this one, but yeah, I'm ready to talk about it.
It was definitely a movie I was excited to pop up there because we don't do a whole lot of animated movies here, but they're a part of the past. They get they get thrown into that rotation of that movie night franchise for us a little bit. So I'm glad we get to talk about this one a little bit. JJ, roll that trailer.
Roll it, JJ.
As long as anyone could remember, Lenny was a different kind of shark.
I don't know how else to say this to you, Lenny. You see something, you eat it, period. That's what sharks do. You gotta understand, when you look weak, it makes me look weak.
I know.
Right here in front of me now, eat this.
Oh, geez, Hop. Here's the thing.
I'm a vegetarian.
You're a good person.
Oh, no. As long as anyone could remember, Oscar was always in trouble.
It's a sure thing.
He trips underwater. Who trips underwater? And by the way, on what?
That's it.
All right.
I want you to find the deepest, darkest hole in the ocean and put him in it.
No.
Then, the little fish told a great white lie.
Oscar, did you kill him?
Yeah, exactly how it looked. That's how it is. Remember this name. Oscar the Shark Slayer!
You lied! Everybody thinks you slayed the shark!
You need to slay a shark, and I need to disappear. Here's what we're gonna do.
From the studio that brought you Shrek.
Yo, Angie needs to get her freak on. Come on, Ange. Dance with me, mama.
You might not ever get me. Let me tell you, it's better than thinking.
Keep up with me. Don't let me lose you.
Yeah! What do you do? I can't see it.
Sharks are coming to get me.
Sometimes I want to take your big, dummy head and just show those sharks who's boss.
Here I come. Ta-da!
I tell you what's what.
And what?
What? What?
What? Nothing. You said what first?
I didn't say what first.
You said and then what, and I said what?
No, I said what?
You said what first?
Shark Tale.
Now snap your fin, right on it. Snap it. You're not snapping it. Oh, hey, don't sweat it. A lot of white fish can't do it.
In the Southside Reef, a blue streak cleaner fish named Oscar, who, in his childhood, dreamed of being a tongue scrubber at the whale wash, like his late father Earl, until his classmates cruelly made fun of him for it, fantasizes of being rich and famous, but owes money to his boss, a pufferfish named Sykes. His best friend, an angelfish named Angie, offers him a pearl from her grandmother to pawn to pay his debts. Meanwhile, a deep tension brews between Don Lino, the boss of a mob gang of sharks, which Sykes works for, and his son Lenny, who has chosen a vegetarian lifestyle. Don Lino, a staunch traditionalist, orders his eldest son Frankie to mentor Lenny, adding to the tension. So right off the bat, this movie, we get that fun little scene with Lenny and his brother, but when we enter the city, I thought this part was so cool as a kid, just because, like I said, I was right about 13, so this is the age when I was beginning to understand pop culture references and kind of those older jokes that you would see in movies, and I feel like DreamWorks was really good about that. Pixar too. So like when we got to see like the Hollywood stars, seeing all those fish puns, to me as a kid that was so much fun. It was so funny. As an adult though, it got old real freaking quick. I was perched up. It was sorry, I was trying to go for another fish joke, but it was, I don't know. What'd y'all think about it? Like, was it too over the top for y'all?
Oh, God, yes. For me, I mean, like watching it this time, I was so, it made me annoyed. I was so annoyed watching this because I started thinking and now maybe I was wrong for like comparing Nemo and stuff, but not even trying to compare them, but this movie took fish into it would like humanize them, right? And and that's, I guess, the thing that I really didn't like is like, okay, they're fucking living in houses and
they have TVs and
they have
shit.
TV right there. They have a fucking underwater fire hydrant
Well, like, they split their fins into legs. You know, like the way they move makes them, like you said, humanizes them.
It totally like their faces are humanized, their faces and everything else. Like creepy fucking like the at least the whales were somewhat normal, you know, but like the pufferfish and just like the face on Sykes and Angie
they try to make Oscar look like Will Smith, and that's where they went back.
Yeah,
like
so like Pixar does their amazing like not 3D graphics, but you know just their animation style is like is stunning. It's almost breathtaking. And DreamWorks tried to copy that, and they tried to put everyone's faces on the fish, and it looked like a horrible failed rendition of like a 3D looking thing that came out, like Scorsese's face on the pufferfish. I was like, I like
with the fucking
fish don't
thick
have
eyebrows.
They don't have eyebrows. Yeah, like what the
and
fuck
it was one
is
of those
that
that
about?
didn't look too bad from afar, but as you got those close-ups on a lot of the headshots, you could see the rendering was so bad, like around the jaws.
I think
and,
like the closest I didn't really notice it until I saw Don Leo or whatever
Lino
with the mole,
fucking,
and I was like,
dude, that was
like,
cool.
What the fuck are they like? I was
thought
like, okay,
that was fun.
I was like, they're trying to do that, and then like I saw everybody else, and I was like, oh, this is not good. Like, Angelina Jolie's character, fish don't have lips like that, and they need to calm the fuck down.
I shouldn't feel the way I feel looking at fish, like the way I did. You know what I mean?
BRB got to run to
Jolie.
PetSmart real quick.
But like I said, the creepiness, the weirdness of the annoying part was just the I don't know, man. I think that they were trying, just like you saying, Brian, trying to bring in a lot of those pop culture references and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it was so over the top cheesy to me, you know?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it dates the movie. Like, you can still have movies that are rewatchable that still have references and stuff like that. But I feel like they hit a certain decade, you know, the decade prior to this movie, so hard that, you know, unless you're my age or maybe just a little bit older, I feel like you're going to miss a lot of those. Like, how many? I know my little brothers didn't know who Seal was at that time, you know? Jessica Simpson, sure. You know, Todd Stewart, probably not. You know, like just, did you notice Lawrence Fishburne? They took the E. His name's already got fish in it. There's no fucking pun there. It's not cute. It's not clever. His name's fucking Fishburne. Oh, ridiculous. But yeah, between the pop culture references and the stereotyping, I
didn't like how inner city it was.
Yeah. Like they definitely hit on a lot of those things. You've got the Italian mob. Like evidently, like there was a big backlash from the Italian population because of this movie. There was another one, but we'll get into that too. But like even with our Jamaican jellyfish brothers, the amount of Jamaican stereotypes they hit. I will point out. Did you guys see who voiced that?
Dougie Doug,
Ziggy Marley, and then Dougie Doug, Senka.
Cool running, cool.
Yeah. I saw Dougie Doug. I was like, where have I seen that recently? And sure enough, it was freaking Senka from Cool Runnings. I love these callbacks we're getting with all these movies we're doing.
I know, right?
I will say, though, I was completely shocked because I never, until this past time I watched it, knew that Jack Black was in this movie.
Really?
I tell you what, he didn't sound like Jack Black like in any other
There
movies.
were a few lines, like very few lines, that he like said something, and I was like, yeah, there's a little bit of a Jack Black tone right there, but I never knew he was in this movie. I mean, like, holy shit, that is Jack Black.
I was right there with you because, like, I've seen a ton of Jack Black movies, you know? I mean, the Tropic Thunder, Saving Silverman, you know, just the School of Rock, Shallow Hal. Seen a ton of Jack Black movies, but his voice in this one, I wouldn't been able to, by watching if I didn't know Jack Black was in this movie, I would never have guessed that was Jack Black. Right?
Yeah,
never.
So you know what's funny is actually there's a few quotes from this movie that Jack Black says, and then I've used and I've quoted before. And Alyssa's asked me before, wait, what is that even from? And I was like, oh, it's from Kung Fu Panda. It's Jack Black. And then we've watched the movie before. I'm like, wait, where am I pulling this quote from? And it wasn't until we rewatched this several years ago that I was like, oh shit, it's Jack Black's other animated movie. It is Shark Tales. But yeah, it's I don't know. I really loved him. Him and Will Smith. I thought it was a great little back and forth 1-2 punch. This whole cast was just jaw dropping to me. So good.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun to watch Will Smith kind of, I guess, get back into the Fresh Prince role.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah,
that's really all it was. But I mean, it was also like I dislike Oscar.
Oh God, I fucking hated Oscar. Oscar was terrible, but Will Smith just it was like it was all of his little noises that he He was like,
would have guessed it was Jim Carrey that was doing it just because of all the noises that was
all of these different noises that he had to make the whole time. Oh God, it was just so terrible. I just wanted to just shut up, man.
JJ, I think you hit it on the head. Like, this was Fresh Prince Will. I think leading up to this, we had seen him coming out of Bad Boys, Independence Day, Wild Wild West, and I feel like he was kind of growing into a new role. But this one definitely was a step back. This was the Fresh Prince with gills. That's what we got, the character we got. That overly obnoxious, that fun, charming, but just kind of arrogant, not quite an asshole, but skimming on that line, very, very egotistical. And I mean, hell, his ego is what ruined the movie in several scenes,
Yeah, I think this is definitely the fresh fish of down under West Philadelphia.
I was really trying to figure out what is this fucking movie even about?
Well, they weren't sure either till they got to the end.
Yeah,
look, we got a banging cast, a sweet soundtrack. Let's push it all together. Let's use some of Pixar stuff that they're not using, the shit that they threw away. We can put together a movie with that stuff. We can find some graphics in there.
I mean, it is kind of, it is very thrown together, I think. Kind of last minute. You could definitely tell, holy shit, Pixar kicked our ass in the ratings and, in the theater views. We need a fucking fish movie. Let's do it. Damn it. What do we have? And somebody was like, what if we take Goodfellas and mix it with, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? The Sopranos was
underwater.
The Sopranos was out right there, and you know what? We got sharks. The fucking angry mob sharks. They take protection money from other people, and then we have the fish and the fish mixed with the sharks. Oh man, it's gonna be a good movie. That's the only thing I can think of.
I mean, this could have been like Lion King, or like in the African savannah with lions being the fucking the mob. And
wait, Simba's way too humble for that. He's not gonna get
all of the they could have been like antelopes that living in fucking actual houses and shit like that, and they're come running back and forth. I was confused. What really kind of pissed me off is the sushi shop. The sushi shop where the guy's just fucking sitting there just
How has this dude not been arrested?
Oh, well, no. My point is that what the fucking fish eat? Other fish. So that place would be the busiest fucking place open,
Not
all the sharks
eat fish. But, I mean... Yeah, you would think that he would actually have a lot of business.
Maybe some piranhas coming in there, something like that.
And why did Lenny or Lino, whatever, Don Lino, why did he have an aquarium of fucking piranhas underwater? I was just like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
Now I will say, I loved the I loved the shrimp. I've been working 2 jobs and the second shift at the factory, and my sister's kid, and then we took in, and he lost all of his arms and legs, but he's just a little stumped, but we love him, and when he looks at us with those eyes, they just those eyes tell you it's all worth it. I fucking
Did y'all notice the ship that they were in?
The Titanic?
Yeah, so there was that scene where Sykes gets thrown up against the wall, and it's that photo that Jack draws of Rose that There's a couple little. I did love that. We got a handful of references that I did think were very creative and fun, but they very much got overshadowed by the bullshit. Like you said, Steve, the underwater aquarium. Just the. I don't know, some of these mundane things.
And why does some fish have autonomy and I guess how do I put this? Had like thought and mentalness and stuff like that, and had this. But then other fish, like the fucking horsefish or the seahorses, well, they were just fucking made to race around. Why didn't they have any
that's the age-old cartoon
relevancy
question. Like, why does Pluto, be an actual dog, but Goofy can talk and fucking...
I thought Goofy was a cow.
I mean, they got fucking
Goofy's
like you're saying, like the blue streak fish, the angelfish, the fucking puffer fish, the sharks. Everybody else is a sentient being, except the fucking the turtles and everybody else who are doing the scrubbing thing.
But the seahorses weren't fish; they're seahorses. They're not fish. They don't fall into that category. Just like the lionfish, Angelina Jolie. Oh nope, there goes that one.
We better get into 2 before I start bashing this shit more.
Let's slide to 2. Where's Alyssa to save this? Oscar brings the money from the Pearl to the seahorse race to meet Sykes the next day, but hears that the race is rigged and bets it all on a seahorse named Lucky Day. Lola, a gold-digging lionfish, sees this and flagrantly seduces Oscar. Sykes is annoyed that Oscar bet the money, but hopes that Oscar might win. Lucky Day eventually takes the lead, only to trip and lose short of the finish line. Sykes loses his temper and orders his 2 Jamaican henchmen jellyfish, Ernie and Bernie, to deal with Oscar. While the 2 taunt the helpless Oscar, Frankie sees them and urges Lenny to eat Oscar, but Lenny instead frees Oscar and tells him to escape. Furious and fed up with his brother's tenderness, Frankie charges at Oscar, but suddenly, an anchor from above the surface falls on his neck, killing him. Devastated and blaming himself for his brother's demise, Lenny leaves. So, this whole thing, it kind of gets addressed, but it really doesn't. Oscar takes advantage of a girl who clearly has feelings for him, but he's not paying attention or isn't smart enough to catch on to these things. Takes her money and then is going to pay Sykes. Now, this is Sykes' screw up. Why have somebody bring money to a dog track or horse track? But now I've been guilty of this. I've been on Twitter before. Somebody posts up a parlay. I'll put $1 on it. Let me see if it hits. But you don't drop 5 G's off some dumbass that's whispering, hey, this shit's rigged. You drop $10 on it. $50 if you're really feeling squirrely. Not 5 G's, man.
I'm not trying to dog, his dad or anything like that. The top tongue scrubber of the whale wash. But, obviously the education system isn't there because...
It did never show any of their schools. The schools of fish.
But it just, he is legitly just stupid. Yeah,
taking his tuition money and just betting it all.
That's why he's just a well washer. Just because he's fucking stupid, right? He just keeps making stupid decisions. But you're right, Brian. Here, I'm going to take advantage of this, of unknowingly, well, not even unknowingly take advantage of this girl. He fucking takes her Pearl, grandma's Pearl.
Well, he shows up to work late all the time, enough to where she has to cover for his ass.
That's
and
time
he
theft.
Automatically knows,
Yes.
oh, Angie, sweetheart, thank you.
You're my best friend, Angie.
If I was the boss,
for you.
If I was the boss, I'd be like, okay, that's fucking horse shit.
Right? So, who punched fucking Oscar's card? Angie, you're fired.
Now, and that's another thing. His bookie is his boss.
Well, I don't know if it's his bookie. He's just loaned him money for Oscar's. He's kind of a loan shark in this way. He works through the loan shark. Right? He works for the mob. Right, and as lending money out, that's what he does. So Oscar has all these harebrained ideas that we learn from Angie, you know, because he's always kind of like, hey, I need $500 to do this. I need $500, whatever, you know. So Sykes is loaning him money, but now he wants the shit back. Now you owe me money back. So not necessarily a bookie, but yeah, but still, as a boss, why are you going to be loaning just the tongue scrubber $500 a year, $5,000 at a time? Whatever.
You know his income.
Right? You write his checks.
Okay. You know his income, and you probably know his fucking mental capacity.
Yeah. If this plan fails, like, okay, yeah, maybe that's a good plan. But if the plan fails, how are you going to get repaid? So,
yeah, in all honesty, if Sykes didn't just give him $5,000 outright, Sykes deserves to lose this money. Because after you gave him whatever stipend you gave him, $500, $1,000, you're stupid for giving it back to him, dummy.
I mean,
like you said, Steve, you know the money, where it's coming from.
As his character develops, Swipes, that is, like his pufferfish character really, like, the dumbness grows just like his body does. Like, it's fucking absolutely...
Where were y'all with Sykes? Martin Scorsese. To my knowledge, he has not really done voices prior to this or before. Like, why?
I loved seeing him actually like in this movie. I think it was like kind of a like he is the king of mob movies.
Yeah.
And seeing him act or like do a voice in this movie, I laughed at it because I thought it was actually pretty good. You know,
inviting him in to do that was fun. Yeah, I hated him, but
I still hated Sykes, but I thought Martin Scorsese doing it was great because I thought and have him because like JJ said, you know, Martin Scorsese, they're the father of mob movies, you know, basically. But the Dawn, but then you know him like having to like kowtow to Don Lino or Robert De Niro, you know, with that was like just fucking. I thought it was hilarious,
and I love that they have this like multi-Oscar winning director, and then just randomly he's now talking in a really high pitched voice.
That's to fucking puff up and be like,
Like, all right, this next scene, you're going to take this helium balloon and you're going to inhale it. And he's like, the fuck are you talking about? And here we go.
But obviously, puff up. You know, here's Sykes is just not too smart. Obviously, you know, he's not too bright. And then he surrounds himself with fucking Ernie and Bernie, which I fucking love the names, Ernie and Bernie. And these two fucking knuckleheads are just about as, I don't know, man. They're just kind of like carefree. They just go with the flow, you know, and just like, fuck it. And hey, Sykes tells us to do this, we'll do this. But we like you, Oscar, but fuck, we're gonna fuck with you and everything else.
But I like that style of henchman. You get this every now and then in movies, and it's that more carefree. Yeah, they may not do everything perfectly, but they're chill. They joke about everything the way they do it. You know, kind of those. I can't grab a movie, but you know that casual. They're gonna pull up the gun and still shoot you, but we're gonna laugh about it. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna joke with you. And yeah, I thought it brought that extra element that we needed to Sykes' crew. You know,
all I could think about, which this is a poor reference, but I was just getting Pulp Fiction vibes. You've got the two, they're just sitting there kind of like tossing jokes around and they're fucking giving each other shit the whole time, like a Royale with cheese, you know, kind of deal. Like, what the hell's a Royale with cheese? And then like they're just like bantering and kind of bullshitting, but when it's time to do business, they do business kind of deal. But that's, I don't know. I couldn't, like you said, Brian, I couldn't think of anything else that these guys were like other than that.
See, now that I think about it, I would have like made the mob the killer whales because the orcas are the fucking.
I was gonna say that
the orcas are the fucking baddest. They fucking like rule the sea. Nobody.
They make the killer whales look out to be like baby back bitches.
Like fucking great whites. The killer whales fucking like control the sea. Nobody fucks with them. Nobody fucks with them.
You got to think of the time period though. At this point, we've got a lot of bad press for orcas. We had come out with Free Willy previously to this to help soften them a little bit. Sequel, Free Willy 2 comes out. And what are we trying to build up? Shark Week. This was Discovery's way of really building up the fear of shark to promote Shark Week. We're trying to pull back the orca hate. Free Willy. And yes, Shark Week.
No, man. Fucking if they would have made them orcas, that would have been fucking I think, because then you have the great whites are the henchmen of the orcas that are fucking relevant, right?
Because they made the orcas soft.
Yeah,
these big,
they
like,
made them
cowering.
fucking like big fucking weenies. It was like, no man, it's like the fucking
And they
orcas
even,
should be running this shit.
They looked like beluga whales too.
Yeah,
like, just the way their head was shaped. I was like, fuck this.
Ah man, I
Like,
was so
that's
fucking
wrong.
disappointed in
Too much
that.
MSG on their sushi. They're swelling up there, you know?
So
It's like,
how
those are the fucking baddest dudes in the fucking ocean.
I'm curious how the octopus gets thrown into the mix. You know,
Big
he's
Bus.
like, hey, boss, when did you start working at the pizza place? You know, like I don't know where he like fits in, because octopi aren't necessarily like predators.
Wait, is it octopi or octopussies? Octopus.
I think individual would be what's it? An octopus? Octopi.
Octopus. Octopi is plural.
Octopi is plural.
So there's
Like,
no
you
octopussy. That's James Bond.
That's James Bond.
Yes.
Octopuses.
Pusses.
But do you know fucking this is just a little stupid fact, but octopus are fucking extremely smart. They they remember things. They can learn things like fucking dogs, learn to identify shapes and shit like that. And they're just incredibly smart. So actually, I thought it was kind of cool to like bring this guy in as kind of like the consigliere, because usually like the consigliere kind of, the lawyer guy is somebody who's outside of the family, not like them, doesn't quite fit, like you're not part of the family, but you're the guy giving the advice. And I thought it was pretty good, right? This the fucking octopus, kind of a smart outside to do that sort of thing, you know?
So I do like how we see him change colors a couple times.
Like how he squirts away when they're in the sea. Squirt, the shark slayer.
Right, he was like the true. I mean, you see, like Don Leon as like the mob boss, obviously, and like the sons, like obviously there's a little discretion in there. Frankie is, just like the big bulky, half not there kind of son.
He's the meathead.
Yeah. But, like, you really, like, everybody else that you interact with is just, like, they're an Italian shark. Like, whatever, who gives a shit? But then, like, you really get that heavy mob feeling from the octopus. He's just like, hey, now I want you to look, like, nod if you understand what I'm saying.
Dude, I actually laughed pretty hard at that phone conversation.
Now, are you nodding?
Now, tell me, did you nod? Okay. like that was like pretty good. Like he's definitely like the mob.
I laughed
guy.
about that. I laughed about that too. I was like, man, how fucking badass would it be if you like said that to somebody? Like, now nod if you understand what I'm saying. Like, all right, good. They're like, oh,
All
fuck,
right,
are you
good.
watching me?
Yeah,
just like,
people are watching me. Like, that's a fucking move right there.
That is
dude.
a fucking boss move.
Like, shit,
Until you said, did you not?
All right,
and then it's gone. So the scene kind of gets wrapped up where, they see Oscar out there about to get killed by the jellyfish. Lenny's out there. His brother ends up getting hit by the anchor.
How what's the plan for killing Oscar?
I think it's just to leave him out there. They're just going to fuck with him and leave him out there tied up to get eaten, basically.
Okay. So, because I was like, okay, they have like a rock tied to his bottom fins.
Yeah, they're going to drown him.
Feet fins.
Feetfinfinder.com.
Fuckedupfeetfins.com.
How like I was like, usually you see mob people do that, cartel people do that whenever they're drowning somebody. You can't drown a fish. Apparently, you can make suds underwater too.
How cool would it have been if Oscar wakes up and Lucky Day's head is in his bed? Like, that would have been the cool mob moment.
That would have been fucking awesome.
Shit. That would have been dope, yeah.
So in my research for this movie, now after reading this, it kind of made a little bit of sense, but I never really pictured it quite this way. But evidently there was a big backlash from some Christian groups when this movie came out, because they thought that they were trying to force, Lenny as this gay shark, trying to kind of normalize that type situation. Maybe we're drawing connections here, I don't know. But, I felt like it was a little bit of a stretch, but I get what they were coming from. But I think it's more a simplistic story than that. It's just a guy that doesn't fit in. He wants to be different. I don't know. I just didn't get that appeal that we're trying to force this narrative on children.
I didn't think about it until the end of the movie, which we will get into later, obviously.
I didn't think it was about forcing that on children. The lesson that I got more from this was telling parents, hey, it's okay if your kid is different, right? And
so this wasn't for kids at all.
I don't think, as far as like, as far as like Lenny being different, it was more of like, oh, hey, you know what? If you're a dad, you can still love your kid if he's different. He may not do the same things or eat the same things that you do, Could he have been gay? Probably. And I was watching this, it's like, okay, Lenny's probably a gay shark. He's a vegetarian, but whatever.
Cross-dressing.
He's cross-dressing. He's
dolphin.
doing other stuff. He's a little fruity. But
hey, Steve, do you like fish sticks?
Fish sticks? Fish
I love
sticks?
fish sticks.
I
mean, you're a gay fish.
But I think that the lesson was Don Lino learning to accept some. And that was, not trying to normalize it for kids, more for parents, I think.
Yeah. So love your weird son because your cool son might die.
Right, yeah. The cool son who you want to fucking actually want to take over, but you got to love your weird son too. And the weird, awkward,
non-meat eating.
What
does he eat? Kelp?
I guess. That's what I was wondering too.
He eats kelp, license plates, and
all that shit that just came out.
A bunch of other random shit. But then you have Frankie, who's like just demolishing all sorts of shit. And I love that. I love De Niro's part. He's like, and look at Frankie. He's a shock. He'll eat anything. Wipe your face. Anything that comes around to him, like that whole like little fucking thing, like that is like perfect. Like fuck you. Wipe your face. All right.
Forget about it. All right, let's head to 3. We gotta, just like the Jeffersons, Oscar's moving on up. With no other witnesses, Oscar takes credit for killing Frankie and quickly rises to fame as the Shark Slayer, and moves to the top of the reef to live in luxury, where Sykes becomes his manager and forgives his debt. At the same time, Lino has everyone's search for Lenny and the Shark Slayer. Oscar encounters Lenny, who, aware of Oscar's lie, begs Oscar to let him stay at his place to avoid returning to his father. Angie discovers Oscar's lie and threatens to tell everyone, but he and Lenny convince her to keep quiet. The next day, Oscar and Lenny stage a battle involving Oscar's fighting off Lenny, thus cementing Oscar's popularity and making the sharks believe that Lenny has been killed, too, infuriating Lino. That night, as Lenny disguises himself for his new life as a dolphin, Oscar and Angie get into an argument, where she reveals that she had romantic feelings for Oscar before he became the Shark Slayer. A remorseful Oscar sadly reflects on his selfishness and dumps Lola, who beats him up in anger. Oh shit, do you guys see that? Looks like there's bubbles. Somebody's surfacing.
I made it.
Oh, she made it!
I made it. After an hour and 15 minutes of brainstorming.
It's a brainstorm.
This is more about just being able to prove that I'm here.
Yay! We're happy you're here.
Thank you.
I love that she surfaced to the bottom.
It's like bubble. Boop.
But Alyssa, everybody wants to know, this is your movie. Why are we watching it? What first made you see this movie?
Wow. This is a lot of pressure. Just cutting mid-episode, and here you guys are, all on display listening to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is just a feel-good movie. You know, it's one of DreamWorks first, and I say this about a lot of movies, but it's one of those that was in the vehicle when we were driving around, and so I feel like I can quote it. Sometimes my sassy little attitude comes from Will Smith's character in this, and so...
Oh, I thought it was like Lola.
Oh.
Little sassy.
She's dangerous.
That's her
super
personality.
Bad. That's me. You know, you gotta love that sass. Also, this remake of Car Wash, best thing that came from the movie, hands down. Just saying. So,
Christina Aguilera, Missy Elliott. Oh,
hell yeah. Ooh.
With her big fucking puffy hat.
Yes.
At first, I wasn't sure which one was Missy Elliott because I thought Christina Aguilera's character had dreads. So I was like, all right, is that Missy Elliott or is Christina Aguilera rocking the... It was, yeah, hard to tell. But Oscar's famous. He's a big fish. Alyssa, we talked earlier about all of the fish puns and the references. It's all we got in this little montage as he got rich, you know. The magazines flopping on the ground, him going up in the... Was it still a penthouse? I feel like there could have been a cooler name for that.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. Probably could have been a cooler name for it. Yeah, he's up in the penthouse. The Michael Jordan air thing when he's like, you know, holding the basketball out there too. It's just like, oh god, how
two of the clothing ones. I liked Gup, the Gap knockoff,
Gup.
and then Old Wavy. Old Wavy was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I will say, I got to give it to him on a few of those.
Jesus.
What was the Coca-Cola? Kelpa something? Kelp Cola?
Kelp Cola or something like that.
Something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, I like those little connections. And as a kid, when you see that, you're like, oh, did they do that on purpose? Are you allowed to do that? Like, that's where my brain goes. Maybe I'm just too much of a rule follower. That's a little annoying. But I love those little connections with that.
Yeah, we don't do copyright stuff here at Too Much Movie Night. No, never.
No.
Ignore that trailer and the outro song and stuff. Everything. It's like
But yeah, so him like moving on up, like doing the whole Jefferson's thing, right? You know, he does totally move on up because he claims that he killed Lenny, or not Lenny, but fucking Frankie, right?
Frankie
claims he killed Frankie, so he moving on up. But then he starts like, you know, Angie's already given him the pearl to sell. She, you know, but then he's like basically just totally disses her because Lola shows up. Like, oh, here's Lola. You know, and then all these people are like partying in this place. He's fucking living the high life. Is this where Oscar thought he was going to supposed to be?
Yeah, I think it's one of those grass is always greener parts of the movies. You know, this is what he thought he wanted. He finally got there and realized, it's not all what it, you know, it's shaped up.
I mean,
these people don't actually
really
like me.
see this. We really see this. What's the word I'm looking for?
Fish
played out by the lava lamps.
Oh, thank you for bringing that up. That was awesome.
I mean, why do you want a little lava lamp when you could have this fucking... Oh, I'm going to put it right next to my fucking big-ass lava lamp. And then guess what? Big-ass lava lamps invite girls with big lips over and...
Hey, you know the old saying...
Lava lamp code for something else.
You know what girls with big lips do? They use a
lot of lava lamp.
This is a children's movie, gentlemen.
They use a lot of
you
lip
missed
balm.
the first segment. Melissa. We've already torn this thing to shreds.
I don't want to be associated with it. I wasn't here.
But you know what girls say? Guys with big lava lamps, they got little dicks. You know, it's just the bigger the lamp, the smaller the dick. Do fish have dicks?
Fish dicks,
They gotta
yeah.
have dicks.
Fish dicks.
Fish dicks. Fish dicks. That's right. You fry them up. Forget Walmart
Fish
sauce.
sticks or fish sticks?
Fish sticks.
Yeah.
What am I saying? Fish
You gotta
sticks or fish sticks?
You got to put them in the air fryer.
Do you like fish sticks?
When you put them in the air fryer.
Depends on what you're talking about.
And you just gobble them right up. You know, you just swallow them. Just swallow.
Okay. Anyways, moving on. Maybe it's a
much.
good thing I was only here for half this
probably.
epi today.
So we've got this big fight scene between Lenny and Oscar. And again, the references here. Did you guys notice the You Had Me at Hello? And then they screen to Renee Zellweger.
With Renee Zellweger.
Yeah, they put her on the screen and like she looks all weird right after he says it. As a kid, you're not going to freaking get that. But Jerry Maguire, for folks who haven't seen the movie, it was a lovely callback because Oscar, all he can do is steal lines from popular movies while he's hanging out of Lenny's mouth.
Yeah. Are you not entertained?
That's all it was. Yeah. It was like, I'm going to steal all of these different lines. You know, it's like, oh my God.
Just hanging in my buddy's mouth, yelling all these lines. I mean, JJ's done that to me before, but, you know, it's just, that's not what we're looking for, you know.
I mean, they are best friends, so.
Yeah. It's fine.
That was I appreciated Lenny's idea of like, you know, okay, hey, I need to disappear. You need to kill a shark. But how is that supposed to make Lenny disappear?
Because then they think Lenny's dead. They watch him die.
By like kicking him out in the.
Because then he does that dramatic falling to the ground.
But then how?
Me and Jackson used to do that shit all the time.
So as a dad who wants to come after the shark slayer for killing one of his kids,
one son,
and then he sees the shark slayer kill his other son, wouldn't you fucking like be like, all right, I'm gonna go attack the shit out of this dude?
Yeah, we're gonna go full fucking force on this damn little fish. Right?
Round the fucking boys up. We're going all
Let's
at
go.
once.
Like the whole fucking put the orcas, the army, the hammerheads, the fucking you name it. Yeah. You missed our orca talk.
The tiger shark.
We came to the understanding that him and his farts.
Oh yeah. What was
that me?
It's just anyway. Yeah. I'm sad I missed out on the orca thing. I'll have to listen to the episode to hear it.
Just like
Wait,
you viewers.
How are you going to do that? Where are you going to listen to it at?
On Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Check us out.
We'll work on it.
Subscribe and like.
Click the bell.
And there's a bell?
Yeah, there's a bell. Notifications.
Oh.
I turned it on your phone. Don't worry, you get them.
But then what about Angie? So now Angie finds out. She knows, like, she encounters, she finds Lenny after Lenny's dead, after the whole shark thing.
But yeah, see, as you said, Angie finds out, she's pissed, and I don't know, I feel like she should have been more mad. Is this just the fact she's infatuated with Oscar that she doesn't tear him a new asshole?
There's a lot of, I think, too much love going on. Whenever she finds out about this, before, like, while they're calculating the plan, you know, she's still going along with it. Like, oh yeah, sure, this is fine. When
I think she's holding out hope.
Well, yeah.
For what?
Then
she wants an asshole for a boyfriend. Because she's an idiot. She wants an idiot boyfriend.
Oh, she's like,
she's dumb.
I've been with you through it, though.
Good girls?
Like I've been
well,
here.
I say good girls.
She bailed him out when she loved him when he was a nobody.
Yeah, you know she's not a gold digger.
That moment, intense. You know, if that's humans in that scene, the emotion behind it.
Should have won an Oscar.
You were a nobody.
You know this was nominated.
I did. I loved you. Yeah, this was DreamWorks' first. I don't know if you guys said this, but their first animation that didn't have people in it, like human beings.
But they had fish that were acting like people.
Well,
which was stupid.
Yeah.
The fellas here don't like that the fish were humanized.
But also, I would also like to point out that, Alyssa, thank you for copying my opening line with your name and tagline.
He whale washed his dolphin.
Bam, bam.
Sebastian.
Sebastian.
The whale washing dolphin.
That's where I thought that, like, Lenny the gay really came out of Lenny.
Yeah, that's where
that made way more sense after I read
where
this.
you
the neck
see
scarf for me.
The tool belt. He was going full YMCA on.
Right, that's what I was about to say. He looked like he could have been one of the village people.
Car wash, yeah.
I'm in support. I like it.
We're not unsupportive of it.
Yeah, no, hey, I'm all for it, man. Go out there with your tool belt and your neck scarf.
You let that freak scarf fly. You know, come on, man.
You, Bobo. I mean, no judgment coming from me. I don't give a fiddler's fuck, but it's just funny as shit. Like,
You know, watching it as a kid, though, that part of it, because I know there was a group of people that were pretty upset and didn't want this movie coming out. And I always just saw the fact that he didn't want to be in a mob. Like, he was softer. I never associated that with sexuality. That was just, and maybe just being young and just oblivious and more so here for like the little punchlines and the story, but that was something that never stood out to me.
No.
And sometimes I feel like adults put their own agenda or narrative to it, and it doesn't really need to be there.
I think you're right, because this movie doesn't, besides Lola and her fucking, gold digging sexuality, throwing the big lips and the sways and stuff like that. Other than that,
Jezebel.
Right. Other than that,
did you just say Jezebel?
Absolutely not. Did I say no?
Damn, JJ. What are you
Jez with an E.
Oh, Jezebel.
Jezebel.
I thought you said Jezebel. I was like, oh damn.
But no, but Lenny never portrayed any kind of like sexuality or anything like that, right? It's just sort of, I think that like what maybe I'm not so generalizing, but like what I would associate with somebody, maybe a little bit on the light loafer side, if you will, right? But it doesn't mean that Lenny ever portrayed any kind of like gayness or sexuality or anything like that. So you're right. I think that adults are putting that. What I told the guys earlier is that I kind of more viewed it as like, this wasn't like trying to normalize kids who are gay or anything like that.
Different, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like saw this on the other side of like trying to teach parents to be okay if your kid's not like everybody else or not like you,
Right.
And so
Maybe
to learn to accept that.
They don't want to eat chicken at dinner.
Or they don't want to scrub tongues
Let them have
of
extra
whales.
broccoli. The scene when he's like, "Oh, tastes like chicken." Just that voice. Every time I laugh, I give a little chuckle. It's so stupid, but that's where I love Jack Black, that they chose him for that role. Gosh.
You ready to slide to this fourth segment?
Let's swim into it.
I think we've used that one.
Yeah,
we'll splash around with all the fish puns, okay? Oscar visits the whale wash, only to discover that Lino has kidnapped Angie to stage a meeting. Lino threatens to eat Angie if Oscar does not surrender, but Lenny eats Angie to save her. He soon regurgitates her, and Lino realizes that the dolphin is Lenny. Enraged, Lino chases Oscar through the reef. Oscar flees to the whale wash, accidentally trapping Lenny in the machinery before trapping Lino. Everyone cheers for Oscar, but he finally confesses the truth behind Frankie's death while urging Lino to respect Lenny's lifestyle. Lino reconciles with Lenny and accepts him, stating that he and his gang bear the city with no ill will. Oscar forsakes all the wealth he has acquired, becomes a co-owner of the whale wash, now frequented by the gang members, begins a romantic relationship, and lives happily with Angie in the reef. I don't know why saying Lino was so hard. Because it's played by Robert De Niro, I kept wanting to say De Niro.
It was the mole, wasn't it?
We talked about that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Past it.
You know, JJ didn't realize Jack Black was in this movie originally?
You know what? That was something I completely forgot about, too.
I was telling him about the quote from this movie that I thought was from Kung Fu Panda for years and years, and then we finally watched the movie, and... Wrong-o.
Snuggly, buggly, wuggly.
No, that's
We're annoying
the
like
quote.
that. Sorry, people. Oh, yeah. Those were the days in the early dating days.
So Oscar goes back to try to find Angie. I broke up with Lola. I love you.
I've seen the light. Yeah.
Dude, Lola beats the fins off that fool. Oh my god.
Dude, you want to talk about, like, which one's truly from the streets? Yeah, it's definitely
Hey,
Lola.
this movie helped me
That's
pick
a
girls.
Lola from the block.
You pick your Angies, not the Lolas. The
J.
Lolas
Lola.
will mess you up. Can't handle me a Lola.
No way. They may be fun to look at, but that's it.
Scary as shit.
Scary as shit.
So the whole thing about, like, they go to the meeting, this was like, because we talked about the whole well thing and the orca thing. This meeting kind of like fucking, like, I was so, like, annoyed with it. like, oh, he said, oh, he's got dolphin muscle. Like they're.
Yeah,
because dolphins fuck up
my
whales
cousin
regularly.
was killed by one of those.
Well, dolphins do attack in groups, but a single dolphin versus a shark, not going to be much.
He was a thick dolphin, though.
Well, he was a thick dolphin, but he's got dolphin muscle. But then they were just like, he was just like this fucking little fish sitting there, and he's just like. Ugh. They're like, ugh. All these fucking sharks and everything are cowering. Ugh. He's like, ugh. It's like, oh god,
like that cheesy little spoon on the hammerhead's nose. Oh, I can't see what he did.
Does the MC Hammer? Oh, can't touch this. Oscar time. I was like, oh shit.
Whoa.
But yeah, he's hung out in Lenny's mouth. He knows that Lenny will spit you up after a short amount of time. So, Angie is just floating around in his mouth, and you're dicking around. Yeah, like you said, the MC Hammer dance, going around, just strutting his ego, flipping out his little fishy.
Yeah.
That was very Will Smith from Fresh Prince to me.
Oh, listen, you missed that part. We already compared it to Fresh
Oh,
Prince.
sorry. Carry on. Keep it rolling.
I'm just kidding. 100%.
No, it is. It is.
Yeah.
It's solid that, and I mean, just you don't say okay till I say okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I was waiting for Uncle Phil to come snap upside the head, Where's Uncle Phil when you need him? Damn. R.I.P.
But I mean, this Steve, you're right. Like watching this whole meeting go down. Like I don't give a fuck if you just ate the, if the only thing I can hold over your head. I'm just gonna fucking kill you right now. How about that? How about we just do actual mob shit, and I'm just gonna fucking kill you, and then we don't have to worry about this fucking thing.
Yeah, even if he is a shark killer, your sons are dead. You've got nothing to lose. You've got all your buddies. You've got three people in a room. You can't, come on, man.
Let's see what you got right now, Shark Slayer.
So,
actually, all of us here.
Actually, I do have I have a question, Steve. Would you notice Brian with makeup on?
Yes. If Brian had blue hair, I would still notice him.
That stature, you spot that anywhere, right?
Oh, calm down, Alyssa.
But how the fuck does he not recognize his own
It's
son?
the scarf. He doesn't see the gills.
It's a scarf, and he has the nose things.
The rubber bands.
The rubber bands around his nose, too. All right. He still looked like a fucking shark.
Yeah.
It's just
And why is the dolphin the one that only speaks in clicks while every other fish speaks with fucking the average English language?
And again, I don't want to tear it apart. It's a kids' movie, but 5 minutes before this scene, Lenny's with the turtles at the car wash, blending in as a dolphin. He's doing little turtle wax, rubbing his back, and yet in this next scene, all he takes is a rag and he wipes off the makeup. So, how is that shit not rubbing off when you're doing kids' movie? It's a kids' movie.
The wax is a sealant.
Okay, I was ready for that argument to ruin this whole situation. So now we're gonna have to cut it.
You got to get that microfiber rag out to really clean up the job.
Yes, okay, that's gone. There, damn it. Okay. But we break out of the Titanic. We emerge, and what does Oscar do? Let's take the fight to the city.
The porthole now.
Oh yeah, Don Lino gets fucking I'm just gonna fuck you up now. Boom. And so I'm glad he finally okay, I'm just gonna take shit into my own hands. Here we go, and now I'm gonna fuck you up myself. And he comes, then he gets stuck right there. The fucking shrimp come out again.
Don't they form a perfect mustache and all this shit around his face?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad. I saw that I saw that out of the corner of my eye. And I was like, wait, what the fuck? And then he was out of the porthole by that point.
Redemption for the shrimp. That's what JJ's wanting.
The whole fucking shrimp redemption thing. Oh my god! Again,
the love in his eyes.
Dude, I could get my voice to that fucking octave if I tried.
I don't know how I could do it.
Try it.
But yeah, he takes the fight to the city where all the people are. Hey,
right.
I'm gonna bring a dozen freaking sharks, whales, and octopuses. Did we get the
octopi?
Octopi?
Octopi, Brian.
Jeez.
Or Well, I
You ever
couldn't
watch
remember.
Nat Geo? Come
Is it
on, man.
octopi? Is it octodanish? I don't know. You know,
You
it's
gonna
just
learn today.
What? Where did that come from?
Octodanish.
I was going with desserts there. You know, it's okay. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss.
Eight Danishes.
Danai? Is it Danai?
Keep it moving, man.
That's right. Keep going. So Leno chases him. He goes to the car wash of all fucking
Whale
places. Whale wash. Goes to the fucking whale wash. Now, I've seen great whites. They're big. I haven't seen them. I've seen Shark Week. So I've seen great whites are big. But fucking blue whales and sperm whales are fucking huge. And great whites aren't nowhere near as big as them. So those clamps that are meant for blue whales and sperm whales are fucking clamping onto a great white now. That just doesn't work.
No, yeah. I was like,
have you ever been to a
They
whale
should
wash? They're very versatile.
They are. The whale washes are more for.
Yes, very,
we can get belugas or fucking.
Hey, I've seen a barracuda go through a whale wash. They can get them all in there. But yeah, we did get this attempt at a soft moment. Like you said, Steve, I feel like the very much of the uncovering of the emotion from this movie was, Don Leno having that moment. All right, my son can be different, but I don't have to force him to be exactly like me. Like you said, that wholesome moment where the dad can, hey, I don't have to be a dick. I can go eat from the other city around the block rather than for this one.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Like, okay, so we're going to be nice to the people here, or to the fish. The fish here that run the whale wash, but what about the north side reef? Are they going to just fucking still...
Well, and then, too, there's a moment where Don Leno, when he's trapped, he looks at Oscar and he goes, what did I ever do to you? Bitch, you eat all of our friends. You're fucking going through eating all the... What do you mean, what did I do to you? Of course I killed your son. You ate 4 of my freaking friends last Tuesday. I didn't get where he was trying to be the soft side. Like, no, fuck you, dude.
Where the fuck is Mom?
Yeah.
Well, we see her at the funeral of Frankie. She's like all covered up in that little robe-looking thing right as the body starts getting lifted up. I think she's hanging out with the tiger shark. But we do get a small glimpse of what it looks like a female shark.
I never even noticed that.
I've seen it too many times.
but Mom doesn't have... Well, yeah.
You've seen mob movies. You've seen... She's in the fucking kitchen. She should be cooking.
That
she's
is true.
sucking the
They're
house.
They're always making the the sauce.
I mean, she's sleeping with her psychiatrist or Furioso.
Smoking a lot of cigarettes and fucking hanging out.
Right.
Like, hey, we're getting in the fucking Cadillac driving
hanging out in the pool. They're going to the mall. That's where the moms are.
Did you guys watch Sopranos this weekend? What in the world? Come on.
No, but that's really what happens, though. So,
did you know that like Chris Imperioli is the guy that Michael Imperioli plays Frankie, who was Chris. I don't know if you ever seen The Sopranos. That was Chris Maltasano in fucking The Sopranos. So it was pretty crazy. So he sounded just like him. I fucking love that guy.
Luca's also in The Sopranos as well. It's
I do love that, like, even the 1 or 2 lines that some of the sharks had, like, it's just, shark number 5 or whatever, but they cast, like, heavy Italian-sounding mob members, like
Big
hey,
Pussy.
shut up, the fucking shark slayer will hear us, shut the fuck up, kind of deal.
Have y'all never
Steve,
seen
I actually
Sopranos?
just recently started
Big
watching The
Pussies?
Sopranos, and the fact that it took me watching it with subtitles to realize they weren't calling him Big Pussy because he was a big puss. That's his name.
That's his name.
Big Pussy. So this is why Mom didn't let me watch this.
I don't know how to respond to this.
You gotta start watching Sopranos. Big Pussy is.
I watched like a little bit of it, but not enough to know that.
That's why I like That's like the tiger shark is Uncle Junior. Just like fucking farting.
So this chick down here, we leave TV on for our girls when we're gone. We usually play HBO Max because it doesn't have the whole "Are you still watching?" So we do a lot of Friends, Big Bang Theory for them. This chick down here decided, hey, let's mix it up a little bit. I'm going to leave The Sopranos on for the girls while I'm gone. I get home from work.
We don't do that anymore.
She's up in her office. These dogs are losing their shit. We do not leave The Sopranos on for the dogs anymore. No. They had the cats were up on the couch, had the dogs underneath them. It was a Sopranos moment. I will just say this.
There's a few other shows that we can't leave on because it's just too feisty.
They get too feisty.
Yeah, they pick it up.
Yep. We don't leave Animal Planet on anymore either. Nope. Night at the Sahara. Mm-mm.
I used to leave a radio thing on Amazon. Oh fuck, what was it? It was like dog radio, but it would play like happy songs, and then just randomly dogs would bark throughout the fucking song.
Oh my god.
I would come home and
it's
like
not
turn
calming.
it. I would turn it off, and Moose would be like, "Thank you, fucking God." Been done.
Well, I was going to say, like, how. So Oscar, everybody knows. Oh, he didn't kill. He's not really a shark slayer now.
And I'm not a financial advisor.
So, that dude, what the fuck is up with that? Like just like the street fucking. It's like a street
urchin.
bum.
I love
just a
it.
street urchin, just a bum, just a street bum.
He reminds
It's like
me of the homeless
kids-
guy from New Girl.
The kid's painting his shell, like run by, like wow. Painting's like, hey, what do y'all? Oh, that looks pretty good. Hey.
Wild.
But then
Yeah, I didn't.
What made he gave up all of his wealth, or did he sell it all? He still had all this endorsement money, I'm sure.
Well, I think he probably took that to buy the whale wash because it looked like he was now co-owner of the whale wash. So, hey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take all this money I was given unfairly, and I'm gonna give it back in the form of buying a business for myself because now I'm a humble person because I.
Well,
own
but
a business,
who's he
you know?
going to give that money? He's giving the money to Sykes because Sykes owns the whale wash, so he's paying Sykes to be a 50-50
Partner, I
owner
guess?
in the fucking whale wash. I don't know, because Sykes already made a lot of money too. Sykes made just as much money as
they were
he did.
they were already
50-50
50-50.
partners. Right?
So
Yeah,
So
I saw that
now
pimp
I'm
coat
gonna
he was wearing.
buy into. Yeah, now I'm going to right. He puts on his pimp shit, but now he's going to buy into the whale wash to be.
I mean, if
partners?
he was smart, he would have said, "Hey, Sykes, what did you say to Don Lino on the phone? Shut up, you big dumb bitch." Like,
Big dumb bitch.
Just a little fresh reminder of
yeah,
that.
like how about you take our 50-50 partnership and give me half of that wash, or maybe Don Lino's gonna figgity fuck you up.
Right.
Wow, so he's going to reverse mob after he is getting to the good side.
I
That
would
sounds like
have.
Shark Tale 2.
There was talks of a Shark Tale too. Never came out.
I think that that's adultifying a kid's movie. It's a
No, I
happy
know,
ending.
but I just don't
You
know
know.
anyway.
Well, everybody, welcome to the final part of the podcast. This is where we put it in our Too Much Slice meter and we figure out how good of a movie night movie is this. And Shark Tales, we got to figure out where it falls on our meter, whether it's a 0 slice movie, which is going to be falling down a whale's blowhole, never to see your son again, or an 8 slice movie is going to be an awesome movie. One you're going to throw in the VCR. No, we don't do VCR. One you're going to put your DVD in. No, we don't do that. One you're going to stream on a Friday night and check it out, like, I don't know, Wild Wild West. That's a great movie. That's an 8 slice movie, right? Not if we check it online. No, definitely not. So, Alyssa, this was your movie. Are you scoring it first? Where are you going?
Put me in the one spot.
Put her in, coach.
I know.
Take it away.
All right. Because I haven't talked to Brian all day. We're in different time zones even.
We talked for
and
90
so
minutes when I got off from work.
Oh, but not about the movie. That was about just life. Okay? We're talking about movie stuff here, not life. So I'm going to claim that the first slice tonight. So whatever you do, you're the copycat. To be honest, it took me an hour and 15 minutes to figure out how to set up myself tonight. And so I got a little frazzled and lost track of what I was going to say. But this is one of my favorite animated movies. I think is a great one from DreamWorks. I am a sucker for a movie with a soundtrack. Like that to me adds an element to the Friday night movie night. And I think that this is a movie where there's a little bit for everyone. That to me makes a solid movie in whatever category it is. It gives depth to it. You know, when you can watch it with your kids, with your parents also visiting, like 3 generations can be entertained by it. That's, you know, what you're looking for. So I don't know if I'm slipping, if I've had too many fish sticks in my ears, but I'm putting this thing at
Gigi's face.
Tartar sauce. Let's say a 6.
6
This is a
slices.
6
Oh my
movie
God.
for me.
Steve, you going up next? Or you finishing?
I will go up next, Brian. Okay, so tartar sauce, fish sticks and tartar sauce. Here we go. Okay, fun cast. Definitely, to see Will Smith in a kind of a heyday, because when you see Will Smith, when they make Oscar look exactly like Will Smith, it's a little bit unnerving. But great cast. I love De Niro. I even like Scorsese, but still, I can hate Sykes. I can hate fucking Oscar. I can hate Lola, but love Angelina Jolie. All these different things. The movie was annoying as shit because of all the humanization of it by putting them in, like I say, in the houses and watching TVs and having the other fish in aquariums and fire hydrants underwater and all this other stupid shit that didn't need to come into play. But this is not necessarily a movie night movie that everybody needs to watch. I just can't say that. I can't say this is one that everybody needs to see because it's not. This is a forgettable movie at best. It is. It's a forgettable movie. It's still fun. Yes, it's for kids. It may have a lesson for adults also. But below average, and this is a 3 slicer at best for me.
3 slices for Steve. JJ, you going to be the caboose or you want next?
I'll go next, actually.
Doop doop.
So, yeah, the cast is badass. I mean, honestly, great cast. You're going to have a mob movie. They had 2 guys in it that know mobs. This is fucking great, which is why we're here. It's a mob movie, and it really was a mob movie. Like I said, did not know it was Jack Black until I watched it this time. And I saw this movie when it came out in theaters. But Steve, you're just 100% dead nuts on with everything that you're saying. Like, this is not really a movie night movie for everyone. This is like everyone has said, put it on in the van while you're driving down the road. Mom and dad are focused on everything else. It keeps the kids distracted. To me, that's not a movie night movie. That's a shut the fuck up while we drive down the road movie. So I can't really give it that great of a score because I even tried watching it the other night, fell asleep, had to finish it another day because I wasn't interested. It wasn't my jam. I didn't really have the nostalgia behind it. So I gotta go lower than Steve and give her 2.5.
Give her 2.5. Awesome. Whew. All right. Here we go. I'm gonna shake it off a little bit. Shark Tales. Shark Tale. Shark Tales. Shark Tale. Oh my God, is there an S at the end of this movie? Nope, Shark Tale. So
that was going to be the sequel.
Right. So like I said, this is a nostalgic movie for me. So this movie's already going to get a little bit of a bump. Will Smith and Jack Black are probably 2 of the most animated male actors that are out or were out at this time. So the thought of putting them into an animated movie was just amazing. I mean, obviously Jack Black's got a 4-movie franchise with Kung Fu Panda. So this guy works well in an animated form. Kind of beat this horse pretty dead, but the cast is phenomenal. When you've got $75 million budget to bring in so many things, like y'all said, the godfather of these mob movies, plus all of these Soprano plugins, I thought it was brilliant. Even Renee Zellweger and Angelina Jolie, I just thought they fit in perfectly. We had a bunch of great songs in this movie. Steve, I do want to disagree just a little bit because I do think it has some of that movie night appeal to it while also not being a great movie. I think this actually goes down at being one of the worst DreamWorks movies ever done. Like Cars 2 gets the joke at being the worst Pixar movie. The tomato score, this actually scored less than Cars 2. So in that whole sense, this movie's not great. The dating of it's horrible. The graphics obviously have fallen back. But with that being said, with this being a below 4 slice movie overall, it has the redeeming qualities that it has that I feel gives you what you kind of need in a movie night movie. There are times when, like JJ says, I just shut up and I just want to sit and enjoy. Whether I'm on my phone just tinkering away with other things, but I like having that fun in the background. Whether it's just me hearing Will Smith's voice, I'm not quite sure what that is. But for that, I do need to give it a little bit more of a bust while also understanding where this is. So I'm going to go right in the middle, and I'm going to go 4 slices. Like I said, I think this is a below average movie, but the rewatchability as a movie night movie, I think gives it that little bit of a boost to give me an average score. Whew. So with my 4 slices, JJ's 2.5, Steve's 3, and Alyssa's 6, that is going to round this movie out to 3.88 slices. And of course, everybody's wondering at home, they're on their edge of their seats. They're fuck, I'm out of water puns, damn it. But with this being our 77th movie,
they're falling off their noodle.
There's only so many.
Full noodles. I don't know.
But yes, this being our 77th movie that we have done, it is falling in the 63rd spot. This movie is going to be better than Me, Myself, and Irene, Secret Life of Walter Mitty, and Predator, but not quite as good as A Dog's Purpose, Three Amigos, and Ocean's 8. It's our best below average movie is where it's coming.
I can't wait to revisit this on episode 100.
Hey, we are only 23 episodes away from episode 100 as well, folks.
So
you
close.
Get ready. Well, everybody, we had a blast as usual. Please come back for more episodes. We can't thank you enough for listening, hanging out with us. Apple Music, Spotify, give us a review. It helps the show grow. And of course, we're moving to YouTube, folks. We are going to be pushing hard there, so make sure you're liking, subscribing, hitting the bell, and telling all your friends. Y'all got anything?
Do it.
Let's wash our whales
we got
together.
6 seconds. Come on, fill it.
We gotta wash our whales.
Fill it.
Oh, JJ, that's not what we're filling it. Fill that blowhole.
That's not any better.
Brought to you by Fish Sticks.
Tartar sauce.
Cocktail sauce. Malt vinegar.
Sushi.